Bill, why don't you come in?
Thank you. This is to John Martel. Miller and Smith amended all their deeds requiring them to be members on 7706. For Section 10, they only started paying on 8106, not for the partial month of July 2006. I and every other property owner has to pay for partial months. Why were the dues collected for Section 10 for July 2006, and why weren't any dues collected for other sections? This appears to be favoritism to Miller and Smith. Why is it taking place? Won't every other property owner have to pay higher dues because they're not collecting dues on these lots? And just for the record, so we understand, when they did change their deeds of dedication, they all read identical. So while you give them the choice of paying on some and some not on others, the homeowners who live here are being deprived, yet the Miller Smith still has the option of voting on what they decide they want to do.
Can I take a vote?
No, this was for John Martel.
John, are you deferring me?
Yeah, I'm going to defer.
Oh, what's the matter, Tom? You're the treasurer. You're the one in charge of the money. And Mr. Locke, you sit on your hand all the time.
Now you set it up.
Steve.
It's on why you don't vote.
Steve.
You brought it up.
Back in your seat. If it doesn't remain civil, we're going to walk away.
This is civil. Don't come up to me. Okay?
All right, and it's up to the board who answers any particular question based on who has the best expertise to answer that question. What you say about the deeds is correct. The deeds date to 2006. There is a precedent contract called the Release and Settlement Agreement, which dates to 1984, which does take precedence here. This grants Lake Holiday LLC, parentheses, Miller and Smith, the privilege of not paying dues on these lots that they own until a certain event occurs. That contract must be recognized. It can't be violated. We have no right to violate that contract. And we're not going to. Regardless of what these deeds say, we're going to honor it and give them the privilege of declining to pay dues until certain events occur. And we're also going to get the privilege of choosing voluntarily to pay dues on these lots when they choose to. We have no choice in this matter. This is not our decision. This is our obligation to recognize a contractual obligation that was made in 1984. We just can't walk away from it. No matter how much any of you don't like it. No matter how much you don't like it, Bill. No matter how much I might not like it. Might like to force them to pay dues on all their lots. We're not going to do that if we can't walk away from the contract that was signed with them.
Now let me, why do you do this?
That's why I can tell.
Now let me address the treasurer's portion of that question. Bill, I can assure you that for those lots for which Miller and Smith is required to pay dues, consistent with the statement that Wayne just made, I can assure you that they are in fact billed every month, as is every other lot owner, and they are in fact paying as are 2 out of 3 of every other lot owner up here.
Reference, John,
I think
reference on that, the continuation of that. I guess one of the part of that question was they only paid a part of the month. In other words, they didn't pay the part. They let it slide a couple months before they decided. Instead of once they put it in effect, they did not start to pay immediately. When we go to settlement at the settlement lawyer's office and we purchase a home or a piece of land here, it's prorated to that exact day. And Miller and Smith actually, while they were paying on a particular handful of lots, they didn't even follow the regs that they paid from the time they put that into effect. And that's where I guess my question would also be.
Let me do this one more time. From the Release and Settlement Agreement in 1984, they don't have to pay on any of these lots. and including the ones that you're talking about them paying on, and they are paying. They voluntarily decided to choose to pay on certain lots. They can make that voluntary choice at any time, including the middle of the month or the middle of the night. It's their privilege. They behave according to the law, they behave according to contract, and whether you like it or not, we all behave according to the contract and the law. And that was upheld by the judge.